our audience, Randy Higgins is the Chief Strategy Officer of Shift7 Digital. Randy, welcome to the conversation.
Thanks, Andy, and thanks, Maria, as well. So Shift7 Digital is an agency that focuses on manufacturing. And as you can see from this slide, we work with a lot of different verticals of manufacturing. And what I think is interesting is that the challenges often are very much the same across these verticals. So whether it's building products or automotive or high velocity consumer goods, a lot of the challenges that we're seeing in these businesses are similar. And so you can hop to the next slide. So I want to pull on the thread, Andy, that you brought up about silos and how we're seeing manufacturers break down these silos. So I think what we see are two types of silos often within these businesses. So the first one is around channel, and we as an agency are really focused on that customer self-service. We're partners with both Salesforce and Avalara, and they're great partners to our clients. And the reason that we look at that ecosystem as critical for our clients is because it helps to break down those silos. So customer self-service is integrated into the Customer 360 natively by Salesforce. So as we're creating these commerce experiences, all of that data wraps right into the customer record in Salesforce. And now I, as a business, have a full commercial record of that customer. And that's really critical when we think about this. The other type of silo that we're seeing, though, that's kind of interesting is more by line of business within the customer. So often we have manufacturers that are making capital goods, and they view that as a new business opportunity, and they manage that often through their CRM, through Salesforce, but they also allow customers to order online and buy new equipment from them, and that gets integrated in. But they also have this idea of a run rate business where somebody's purchasing over time fixed volumes from them. And, you know, often that's a difficult challenge to expose that type of ordering process to a customer in a self-service way. And now I end up with another type of silo, which is that I have different levels of timeliness and accuracy depending on which line of business I'm dealing with. So seeing the whole picture of the account is critically important for our customers. And then, you know, in the same boat, having scalable services sitting behind that is also critically important. So things like Avalara, I think everybody knows that manufacturers are relatively risk averse, and risk management is a critical piece as they're taking this leap of faith that they know they need to create a customer self-service experience, but that creates risk for them. And then implementing services like Avalara significantly helps to reduce that risk and gives them peace of mind and helps us to really deliver great, transparent customer experiences. So we're going to actually bring this to life a little bit for the audience with a little demo of something that Shift7 has built on top of the Salesforce platform. It integrates to Avalara for tax compliance. And you'll see how you can now have your customers self-service against their run rate business with Salesforce Commerce against Salesforce Manufacturing Cloud.
Shift7 Digital is proud to offer the new Manufacturing B2B Commercial Excellence Accelerator. This accelerator brings powerful manufacturing cloud features to customers with run rate businesses that use B2B commerce for self-service. In today's demo, you'll see that in B2B Commerce Cloud, a self-service customer can view their sales agreement commitments, shop against a sales agreement, including accessing discounted pricing, and place an order against that sales agreement. And in Manufacturing Cloud, The sales rep user that's managing an account with a run rate business can transparently see when one of their self-service customers draws down against a sales agreement and ultimately manage their forecast accuracy. Let's take a look. As the sales team at Rocket Power Tools looks at the Thompson Construction account, they can see that there's the sales agreement for the cutting tools category, and it covers 2 different items. Thompson Construction has agreed to buy 2 of each of these countdown flat saws and pneumatic power cutters every month, getting a discounted price. There are no actual quantities for these items yet for the month of September. Over at Thompson Construction, when a buyer logs in, like Roger here, everything about his relationship with Rocket Power Tools is just a click away. Roger can now see the exact same sales agreements that his rep could see in Manufacturing Cloud. So in the cutting tools category, Roger sees that he still needs to meet his quantities of 2 units of each of these saws for the month of September. So Roger can go ahead and select that sales agreement and add those saw units to the cart. He takes note that his discounted price is in place, updates his quantities to 2, and completes the checkout process. Back at Rocket Power Tools, the rep on the Thompson Construction account gets an alert letting him know it's time to view the updated projection. All the account owner needs to do is go here and recalculate and refresh their actuals. And what we'll see is the actual quantities for the month of September have been updated now. Yep, from 0 to 2. This is the power of the Salesforce platform at work. It allows self-service buyers to easily buy down against their purchase agreements with full transparency and allows sales reps to better manage their run rate business and better manage forecast accuracy. Just think of how much time and money this is saving the sales team at the manufacturer, because they no longer have to track run rate businesses and can spend that time selling. This new Shift7 accelerator is available now. We can't wait to put it to work for you.
So Randy, that's awesome. And just so I'm kind of keeping track here, and so we can validate for the audience. So, you know, what it seems like I saw in that accelerator, what we all saw in that accelerator, were the self-service motions that end buyers can go do and kind of manage their own purchase agreements. My sense is that that's still on top of everything else with Salesforce, right? That B2B customer could still call a rep and order the old way, right?
What 100%. So that is fully on the Salesforce platform with the consistent account structures that Salesforce uses. It's just another way for a customer to interact seamlessly with Rocket Power Tools. So,
well, that's awesome. You know, Maria, does this sound like stuff that you're seeing out as you talk to manufacturers? Are these the kinds of transformations you see your customers going through? And I guess any kind of words of wisdom for those?
Oh, yes, absolutely. As I said, this touches, every single department. And I'll say with my compliance hat on, the compliance is just confusing. It confuses people. It's a little overwhelming, and you really need systems like this and processes in place that everyone can easily use without having to spend a lot of money on consultants and custom design something. There's tools out there that you can use, partners and knowledge that you can leverage now. You don't have to do it yourself. So yeah, absolutely.
And Randy, on the do-it-yourself side, I guess, a lot of times, traditionally, consultants and agencies such as yourself come in and kind of start from scratch with customers, and that takes a different amount of time. My impression here is that you've actually bundled a lot of stuff that's pretty kind of standard, common elements that just about any manufacturer would need to give reps better tools and buyers self-service all in one. I guess, is that right? And how are people reacting to this?
Yeah, so we've built out a set of accelerators, and really what we've done, Andy, is we've taken the most frequent asks across that portfolio of manufacturers that we work with, And we've built out a select set of accelerators. So now we can leverage those with our new clients. And that includes, everything from specific product management capabilities that manufacturers often need, that they want to expose to their customers, connection to services like Avalara or payment gateways that they want to enable on their storefronts. And now, with this move into run rate business, the ability to expose purchase or sales agreements to the customer and allow them to order against that. Those are all things that we've been able to build out because we are so focused on manufacturing and get to hear from so many different manufacturers what they're looking for out of the Salesforce platform.
How have manufacturers you've talked to been responding? I guess, what's your point of view there?
Well, the amazing thing about it is it gives us the ability to give them with certainty what the cost and timeline is going to be to get these things launched. And that's really what they're ultimately looking for, is certainty. Because when they go and talk to their board about funding these kinds of projects, they're making a commitment on a launch date and they're making a commitment on an ROI. And if we can give them that level of certainty that they're going to be live on the date they committed to, and that it's going to cost what we say they cost, that's pretty meaningful to them, because we all know the ROI is there, but the certainty of it is really what I'm seeing as a differentiator.
Oh, thank you for that. That's really good insight. And I guess, go ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
From a Salesforce perspective.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
Thank you.
Yeah. What do you think, Andy?
So it's interesting. I think, first of all, I really appreciate, Maria, your thoughtful comments and advice for companies. Compliance needn't be a reason to be afraid of these kinds of changes. In fact, there are better ways than ever before to help streamline operations around compliance, to put you to a point where that's just not an issue. And Randy, I think, thank you also for sharing Rocket, because it does a lot to bring together things that, frankly, I see a lot of companies struggle with. I guess my point of view from a Salesforce perspective is that we talk with tons of manufacturers all the time who are dealing with some, real unique opportunities and challenges given by our current world. And they often come to us with really specific problems they're hoping to be solved, or dramatic kind of new commercial models they want to deploy, geographic expansion that they need to accomplish, all things that they've not done before. And those kinds of programs are a journey. They don't typically turn on overnight. And I think that what a lot of companies forget in this process is the extraordinary value of simply coming in and unifying your data platform around the customer, so you have all of that relevant information in one place, A. And then B, creating this kind of virtuous cycle where both your sales and service people, everybody customer facing, and your customers themselves are interacting, working, feeding off of that exact same data. I think most companies are really excited about what happens step 5, 6, 7 beyond that point, like how they can optimize, how they can streamline, how they can sell more, how they can do more, all of that. But I really think you got to step back and just realize the power of having this simple system. And in many ways, I think, Randy, the solution you've defined is kind of the next generation era of what CRM has become. CRM and modern systems to manage your customers and your growth, aren't what they used to be. And digital self-service, as well as connectivity across all of your other channels, partners, salespeople, service, that's kind of the new normal. And it sounds to me, Randy, like what you just described is the new normal of what CRM really should be.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, two words come to mind: transparency and accuracy, right? And I think we've checked the box on both of those with this conversation today. We need to be transparent with our customers and provide the information that they need and give them the information. And then we need to provide it accurately, right? And that includes compliance. That includes all the pricing.
I was going to say that includes the sales tax.
Right? I was going to say
Exactly.
transparently, accurately, and safely might be good mantras of today. And I think it's okay. Once companies have these kind of capabilities, once you've made these dots, once you have some of these automation systems in place to make sure your business can move at the pace that modern times demand, once you've got some connectivity around self-service and customer feeding off of the same information your teams are, that kind of creates a system where your data's got to be on track all the time. It creates an environment where you really can start to do some meaningful things. But even this moment of having that transparency, having that visibility, even just that usually gives all of your teams and your customers a pretty good lift. And starting from that baseline is also the best place from which to plot your course into the future. Sometimes the next steps can be pretty dramatic. Eventually, once you do want to optimize, you may want to think about spending more on salespeople in certain areas and drawing down the number of heads in others. Those are big changes. You're always better off making those kinds of big changes once you're starting from this frame of reference. And you got a really good sense of how your customers want to self-serve, where they really need that help of people, and where you need to apply that extra pressure to grow your business. All of it come together is the key. And it just is a great foundation for the future. Thank you, both of you, I think, for joining today and providing the great insights. Maria, that was fantastic. And Randy, Rocket looks awesome. And I really hope our customers and the companies listening today reach out to learn more about all of it.
Awesome. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you, Andy.